Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today I'm going to talk about staying sane when the world seems crazy. Oh my gosh, you guys, do not touch your face. Wash your hands if you do. Wash your hands if you don't. Don't forget to use hand sanitizer as often as possible. By this point, your nerves are frayed and your hands are chapped from all the hand washing and sanitizing, right? It's been a lot. But of course, that's nothing compared to those who have fallen ill or passed away or recovered with lasting effects. So many people, they're recovered, but they've got ongoing problems. Hi, Anitra, good morning. So the two are related. By doing the first things, we're certain that we can prevent the latter from occurring, right? It's certainly a good way to mitigate the risk. Washing your hands and social distancing and all of that, that's all good. I'm not complaining, but it's just a lot, right? So the kids are at home. Many schools yet to return. A lot of them have just returned, but there's still quite a few that haven't yet, or some that are doing homeschooling, right? There's still a lot of people working from home or they're laid off. We're not meeting our friends and our family in person. And for a time, the grocery stores were wiped out, the toilet paper. That was a couple of months ago, right? But people were spending an hour in line of hopes of just getting that toilet paper. I mean, that's been resolved, thankfully. But life has changed in a series of big and small ways due to COVID. The only highlight of this is that we're not alone. Everyone else is going through it too. We're all going through this same tumultuous event, and we're all in it together. At least we should be. Hi, Don. Good morning. So there's nothing funny about a pandemic. But it's important to stay grounded. As difficult as it seems, it's important to accept reality and not catastrophize. Can I say that? Catastrophize about what has yet happened. We all cope differently with horrible situations, and we all struggle with our loss of control, right? We need to accept reality. We have no control over this crazy pandemic, but there are things that you can do to stay in control in the situation. Those are the things that you can focus on. So focus on those things to reduce your risk. First, it's important that you sleep well, eat well, and move often. Those are the basics of life that stand true in normal times and during the pandemic. Take care of yourself, right? But it's important right now, that you pay attention to social distancing and you wear the masks. Those things are important. If you're allowed to have contact with others, then do it, but be safe about it, right? That means wearing the mask, hand washing, sanitizing often. A little bit of anxiety can be productive if it's causing you to take the proper precautions to prevent the spread of the virus. If we didn't have a level of reasonable worry, then no one would take the appropriate measures to protect themselves and other people around them, right? But there's also an unproductive anxiety too, where you allow it to spin out of control by imagining what could happen if you caught it, or if your child caught it, or if someone caught it. Yeah, it has happened to other people. And for many of us, people we know, so it's not ridiculous to imagine that someone close to you could catch such a highly communicable disease. But you can counteract those thoughts by focusing on the present, on the now, right? Remind yourself that you're safe at home. You're cooking dinner. You're snuggling with your partner or with your kids, or you play with your kids, right? Or maybe you're working, but you're safe right now, today, right here, right now, right? So there's really no reason to allow yourself to go there with your thoughts. You could think about it all day, but it's not going to change anything. And for sure, it's not going to make you feel better. So it's important to stay grounded so that you can stay sane, right? I remember way back in January, Richard and I were watching the news, and they interviewed this lady from the CDC. She was talking about a deadly virus headed our way, and we needed to make plans for how we were going to handle having to stay at home. She was talking about how our kids wouldn't be able to go to school, and most of us wouldn't be able to go to work. And Richard and I were looking at each other going, what? Is this the Twilight Zone? We were it was totally out of left field. This was January, right? The news, it hadn't even really hit the news yet. This was the first time we'd heard about it. And it was crazy juice, right? So it just sounded so out there. So we listened and then we looked at each other really strange and then we just promptly forgot about it, right? But what began as a tragic story on the news has become a very real threat to our world. I mean, in all likelihood, you probably know someone who's been touched by COVID 19, if not you personally. I know I have quite a few people in my life, people on my Avon team, a couple of my Avon customers, and even two relatives. And it's especially scary when it starts getting closer to you and hitting people you know. But by staying grounded, you're not you're not minimizing the pandemic or you're not sticking your hand in the sand. But what you are doing is you're taking the necessary steps to protect your mental health and stay sane. Think of all the steps you've been taking to protect your physical health, right? Think about what steps you've taken to protect your emotional and your mental health. With that in mind, what are you going to do to ensure that you stay grounded by accepting the reality of the pandemic and at the same time, avoiding worrying about things that have not happened? If it hasn't happened yet, there's no reason to worry about it, right? I mean, it might happen in the future, but what good does it do? Doesn't do any good to dwell on that. So be here, be present right now, right here, and we will get through this, right? I know it's a little touch and go. I mean, things are changing every day. Are the numbers up? Are they down? I mean, gosh, who knows, right? But if we take care of ourselves, we stay grounded, and we live in the now without worrying about what if, we will get through this. So, anyway, so now I'd love to hear from you, right? What kinds of healthy things are you doing to help yourself get through this pandemic? What kinds of things help you when you're starting to get worried or stressed about it? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments below. I would love to hear your stories. Thank you, Anitra and Don, for being live with me today, and anyone else who might be live who just hasn't commented, and anyone who's watching the replay. I appreciate you. So go out there and have an amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.